Hello and welcome to the moment. Yes, my name is Michael Zinn, and you are here with me in this moment, which is something that I decided to create. So you are co creating this moment with me since you're here as well. And that's what really the moment is all about. I realized that life was in my control. I was making decisions every minute, and I enjoy looking forward to stuff. I enjoy having conversations with super interesting people. So I created the moment as a way to, one, have something to look forward to, and two, have conversations with super interesting people. So again, welcome to the moment. You're here with me, and today I have an amazing, amazing special guest who we spoke to on the live stream of consciousness, and I was just blown away by how humble and genuine this guy was, because he was, to me, a legend. I mean, I grew up watching this guy through a comedy career, through a musical career, through a movie career, and now through an entrepreneurial career. So I'm super excited to welcome to the moment the legendary Mr. Tommy Chong. Hey.
Well, thank you for the beautiful introduction. That was very nice of
Oh,
you.
you're welcome. Thank you for being
Yeah.
here in the moment with me. The moment was something I decided to uh, create out of intention, and it's brought me these amazing opportunities, like sitting next to Tommy Chong on the screen and having a very cool conversation. So, thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, I like the title of your.
Thank you. Oh, I lost you for a second. Oh,
I got it off.
oh, you did it again, Tommy.
Okay, where'd you go now?
uh,
Come
I'm
on.
I'm still here. I
Come
see.
on. Where are
I
you?
see you. Tommy was messing with his screen again and disappeared. So one moment he's here, one moment he's not. He's gonna come back, I'm sure. I'm super excited. I'm gonna man these comments. What's up, LN? I'm excited to have you here. What's up, Janice? I'm excited to have you here. You guys are in my moment, witnessing my technical difficulties, but of course, as expected, here he is. He's back. Tommy Chong. Tommy, why are you messing with the screen? You know what happens when you do that.
No, the alarm went off, and I tried to turn it off. And once I
uh,
do that, you know, this my artificial intelligence is so hip to me. They just take me for a ride every once in a while, and I go with them. I said, "Okay, I give up. You win."
That's funny. I knew you were going to come back. I have a viewer who says blocking out with Tommy Chong. That's the new name of the show. And then Janice is saying hi, Tommy. So I have
Hi,
some
hi,
viewers
Janet.
who are saying hello to you. So Tommy, I was trying to prepare for this conversation, and I was really blown away, and and just kind of went back through my childhood, and I realized how much of an actual influence you were to me. And it's kind of an odd thing to say, but I mean, your Chong character, your character with Cheech and Chong, was truly about just kind of like being laid back and going with the flow and not worrying about anything, not letting the worries of the world get to you, just knowing like it was going to be okay, and I really appreciate that. It was interesting to find that out. But what was really cool, and I would love you to talk about it, is looking back at your career, what a pioneer you were, you and Cheech. Like, I was looking back at some of the old stuff where you guys would just be on stage with like garbage bags as props and like creating these characters and running through these character routines that were just so classic. Um, Tell me about that. But go back to your early days and tell me, like, how did that all happen? How did you meet Cheech and start doing that stuff?
Well, both Cheech and I have, had an extensive musical aspirations. I won't say career, but I'll say aspirations.
Hmm.
His whole life was dedicated to folk singing. And like was once Cheech was once a Johnny Mathis impersonator. He
Wow.
could sound exactly like Johnny Mathis. On the other hand, I grew up being a backup guitar player
Hmm.
for singers that had a lot of nerve but not a lot of talent,
Hmm.
and that's how I got in the business. And then in my travels, I kept running across these legends,
Hmm.
the Herbie Hancocks, the
Wow.
Jimi Hendrix, the Michael Jackson, and Muhammad Ali, and all these great game changers. And I kept meeting them, and not only meeting them, but kind of meeting them on equal turf almost.
Right.
It wasn't an employee
Right. Right.
employer
You were
relationship.
part of the performance. You were part of the band.
Well, I was sort of this just stuck in this weird. How do you say it? It's like my whole existence has been sort of like ordained, and spiritually too, for sure.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know,
Hmm.
because I right from the very very beginning, because I never had a normal childhood. Like my mother had TB, so when I
Hmm.
was a baby, she was put in a sanitarium, and I never saw her for like 5 years. None of
Right.
us did. She was sequestered away, and then my brother and I ended up in a home, but not as a family, just as individuals. My
The same,
brother was
different homes.
no, it was a orphanage, like a
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Salvation Army home,
Gotcha.
and he was in the older kids, and I was, homes are, orphanages. They're like holding cells,
Mm.
you know. Like when I was in prison, they have certain cells that they use for holding people that
Hmm.
are going to trial or in transit or whatever.
Right.
So the homes that I was in, they were like for people in transit,
Right.
and if you did manage to age out, which a couple did when I was in the home, it's kind of a sad situation because now they boot you out of the home that you only knew,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
and you're on your own.
And you got to fend for yourself. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you're on your own, and that's it. You
Wow.
don't have no grandma or mom.
Right. Right.
That's it. That's it.
Wow.
Goodbye.
Right.
And so, as when growing up with that kind of background, it uh, it freed me. It made me
Hmm.
really who I am because I was
Hmm.
like on my own,
Hmm. Hmm.
even though, and then when I got with my brother and my mother and, the family came back, it wasn't as usual. It was like going to the next adventure.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Everything has been an adventure to me.
Right.
And I think that's one of the reasons that I ended up where I am because I never felt comfortable uh, doing one thing for any length of time.
Hmm. Hmm. Oh, I
Because
totally relate. Yeah, I totally
when I
relate.
was a kid, I got jobs because I would help other kids. They would say,
Hmm.
"Listen, I got to go. Can you take over my paper route?" Or, I'm
Hmm.
going over here. We're moving, and I deliver meat. Can you do that job for me? And
Right.
that's how jobs were handed down. It was
Right.
like someone knew somebody.
And like you said, you got to do something new. It was like a new adventure. It was like, oh,
Brand new.
now I deliver meat.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's papers. I learned how to roll papers and throw them on the
Hmm.
lawn, and then
Hmm.
had to learn how to deliver meat. I had to learn how to mow lawns, at all sorts of things. Because growing up, uh, that poor, eating is like something very special.
Right.
you
Right.
know, having a real breakfast. I never really had a real breakfast until I was an adult.
Right. You're always
You know,
scrounging.
well, no. What happened when you're in the home and you're a little guy? The big guys take all the good stuff. You're
Mhm.
left with nothing.
Right.
And so I was kind of used to that. And then when we got home, we never were like my mother was recovering from TB, so she was never we never had that big Italian family where the hey pasta, you
Right.
know,
Right. Right.
uh, we we got lots coming. Don't get up yet, you know.
Right.
With us, it was like for survival.
Right.
We better have breakfast. We never did we eat breakfast? Yeah, I can't remember. You know that kind of thing. You know,
Right.
but it was. And as a result, you talk about being in the moment. Then I can really remember some moments when, um, especially with meals, because that I think that determines your welfare, your being. You know, because
Okay.
it's the first thing they'll ask you. Have you eaten? You
Right.
know,
Right.
has he
Right.
eaten? You know, it's all about food. And yeah, growing up, uh, it was it was a good lesson for me. It made me appreciate
That's what
everything.
I was going to say. Gratitude. It definitely,
Yeah,
I can sense that that's what it showed you.
yeah,
Gratitude. Okay, so continue. Tell me how this led you to Cheech. And I agree with what you're saying. By the way, I do believe that you said this too on the other show, the live stream, that you were guided. Your life was definitely I didn't not guided wasn't the word you used, spiritual word for the fact that you're where you're supposed to be at any
yeah.
given moment, and everything that you do is like a little piece of who you become, and then eventually you're all of that, right?
Well, that's right. That's right. And now uh, I look at various books, spiritual books, and that, and like an Emmett Fox book,
Mhm.
or now what I do, I just randomly open the page and I look at the message, and it's
Mhm.
always got something that I can understand. You
Right.
know.
Resonate
Uh,
with. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What you have to come to grips with, especially as you get older, is that uh, enlightenment is is there for everybody.
Hmm.
But what you do when you become enlightened, it's like you unwrap a package, but there's another wrapping to unwrap.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know,
Hmm. Hmm.
the secrets aren't revealed to you,
Hmm. Hmm.
and when they're revealed to you, they come in very special forms. You know,
Hmm. Hmm.
I can vividly remember every change in my life that affected me to the point where it's like, wow, I have to think about that one.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know, like meeting my wife, or having my mom, my having a family. I can remember that time. I remember the first Christmas we had together. It was storybook. My dad, he went out. We went out to get a Christmas tree because there's no such thing as buying anything. You know, I don't know if I told you the last time, but my dad was a gambler, and so to him, money was an instrument as opposed to something that you bought stuff with.
Right.
You know
Right.
what,
Right.
what
Right.
what the Chinese did, especially the ones that worked in the cafes and that, uh, they never paid for anything, because you go in the back door and you get it for nothing.
Hmm. Hmm.
you know,
Right. Right.
uh,
Right.
no, you might get breakfast, you might have to stand up and eat it. You
Right.
know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. But
But
you get it for
but
nothing. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, 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 and that was weird growing up like that. Like for instance, my dad took us to a baseball game one time, and it was weird because we walked past the front gate, around to the back,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
and then over some barriers and up something, walking, a thing, and then
Right.
jumping over the fence, and
Right.
then you're under the stands, and then, and then, whoo, you're sitting almost ringside, But the game never interested me. the baseball game never interested me because, yeah, you see guys throwing a ball around,
Right.
so what?
It was the
What
adventure.
what interests me was all the junk that I saw underneath the stands.
Oh, wow.
And so while my brother and my dad were watching the game, I'm under the stands, scrounging through the garbage.
Totally. Cool. Cool. I have a viewer, Louis LN says, Tommy, thank you for saying this. People need to hear this. I think he's responding to some stuff you were saying earlier. But you did share on the live stream kind of a little bit of your background, where you came from, and it's amazing to hear the stories, of how you didn't have shoes because you didn't really need them because you didn't have anyone to visit, right? That was one of the
Yeah.
stories that you told. But I'm still waiting to hear, like, when you finally decide to do comedy and get on stage and meet Cheech, and what's that story?
Well, when I started playing music, we ended up getting kicked out of Calgary, and then we were in Vancouver, and we're in the seedy part of town where all the action was, and we started playing first floor shows, and then we started. The band kind of broke up, and one of the band was playing in another place and playing dance music. That's really what I was really enjoying.
Mhm,
For I enjoyed performing, but I also enjoyed just playing for dancing,
mhm, mhm,
and so that's basically I was more of that. But playing in these little clubs, I got a chance to see a lot of performers, comedians and
mhm,
strippers and magicians and
mhm,
all sorts of people, that did that for a living.
mhm, mhm.
And so I got to watch, and Dylan and Bob Dylan and I were born on the same day, and I watched a documentary of him, and we're so much alike in a lot of ways. Like Dylan said, he'd hear a song just once or twice, and he'd know it from
Right,
top to bottom.
right.
I don't have that good of a thing, but very close
Mhm,
to the
mhm,
point where I was attracted to music,
mhm.
and I would hear it, but I never had the urge to play it because, you know, when you grow up poor, you have to be quite wealthy to be able to afford musical instruments
Sure,
and time to play.
sure,
You
sure,
see,
sure. Yeah.
so I never really had that, but I had a musical talent, and so, but I wasn't married to any of the instruments. Like
Mhm,
the good musicians, they put their
mhm.
time in.
Right, right, right.
They woodshed. Their parents made them study. Blah blah blah. It was tough. But then they come out. They're virtuoso, whatever
Right,
they play.
right.
I was always good enough to get the job done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Me too. Same thing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I could make the singers and that. And then I had a nice sense of composition. I would instinctively say, well, why don't we do this song last, or
Right.
why don't we start off with this one, and work our way. And when I started watching comedians, uh, the good jokes would stick with you. But I'm not a performer,
Mhm,
in that sense. So I would just remember them,
mhm, mhm.
just for my own self. And so
Right.
when Cheech and I got together, all that knowledge came out,
Mhm.
and I would share it with Cheech. And Cheech basically had the same kind of interest that I had,
Okay.
And so when he saw that I was going into the comedic route, he didn't hesitate. He said, "Okay, I'm with you," because
Cool.
he thought about being a singer, a folk singer, a few things, But when he found out that he could do comedy,
Right.
we both found out, it was like, whoa.
Right.
Now this is the ideal job, man.
Right.
No guitar amps, no guitar instruments, no drummer,
Right.
no bass player,
Right.
no keyboards, no extra
Much
costs.
easier. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, just the two of us.
Right.
Yeah, it was great. It
So
was
I
great.
I was doing when I was doing a little research, one of my favorite routines is hey, it's me, Dave.
Yeah.
Who is it? And I saw you tell the origin of that, and that was really one of the first bits that you guys recorded.
It was the first bit.
It was the first bit. But
The
what was
first
the
bit.
to back up the story a little bit, did you guys live together at that point? You were playing in bands already and
No,
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 you weren't.
no, no.
You were just hanging out doing comedy.
Well, no. What happened is that we were in that strip club in Vancouver,
Okay.
and so when we found when my brother actually fired us. We built the club up, but then it was too theatrical, not enough tits and ass.
Mhm,
So we got fired basically.
mhm, mhm.
But actually, what happened is that the world was ready for Cheech and Chong, and it
Right,
was time for them to
right,
leave the acting group because some people they get ready, but then they miss the bus.
right,
They're too busy having fun doing what they're doing, and so
right,
you get a lot of improv actors, like the Second City bunch or
mhm,
all those guys. They're together forever. And it takes almost like an act of God to get them away from them because they're having so much fun.
right,
And but when Cheech and I got fired from the club, we had no choice because Cheech and I were the only ones that wanted to keep doing what we were doing. The
right,
other guys had other jobs. The
right,
strippers could go back stripping, the doorman could go back working on the door. You know, set steady employment for their
right, right.
wives and everything. Cheech and I were the only wild cards, and actually it was me that said, "Okay, it's you and me, bud," because I put a band together first, and when we never played a note and it was just Cheech and I doing 45 minutes of comedy, it was very obvious, that we're destined to become that, And then that night when we discovered, that we were comedians, we had to come up with a name for our group, and it was
Okay.
Cheech. It turned out to be Cheech and Chong,
Yeah.
because I asked Cheech, Richard and Tommy and Marin and Na, I said, "Don't you have a nickname?" And all the time I'm saying this, it was like I was being uh, influenced somehow.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Some invisible influence was,
Pull it out of them. Right.
yeah. It was like, "Don't you have a nickname?" And he said, "Yeah, Cheech."
That's great.
Then it was like Cheech and Chong. Perfect,
Boom.
perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
And that was, I even at that time I didn't know he was Mexican because Cheech was very private.
Okay.
And he didn't want anybody to know anything about him, let alone, you know, that he's Mexican,
Right,
because he's in Canada and he was sort of like fantasizing, having a good time
right.
with people not knowing what he was.
Not a lot of Mexicans in Canada at that time.
None, none. There was one Mexican restaurant owned by, I think he was from Guatemala or something.
Oh, wow.
But he, no Latinos, no Chicanos.
Okay, so sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but you were working in Vancouver at a club for your brother, you're saying? Right?
Well, my brother was the manager,
Okay,
of the whole thing.
right. And then that's when you kind of got fired and you said, "Okay, it's just you and me." So, I'm curious, the characters of Cheech and Chong are pretty autobiographical? I mean, are those some of the things in your movies kind of, the strippers and the things that are in your movies, are those, like, kind of from your
People,
adventures?
yeah, people we knew, people. I evened a lot of scores with Up in Smoke,
Okay.
because there was a narc that was terrorizing all the hippies in Vancouver, and
Mhm,
his name
mhm.
was Abe Stadenko.
Oh.
And so I
Oh,
said,
right.
when we do our narc, I'm going to make this guy famous. So
Nice.
Abe got so famous in Vancouver because of the movie that they shipped him off to Turkey. He spent
Wow.
the remainder of his career in Turkey.
'Cause he couldn't go undercover anymore, huh?
Well, he was too famous.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then when he came back from Turkey, he was too old. And the narcs called me up in Calgary and they said, "Hey, Tommy, this is Detective so and so." He said, "No, you're not in trouble. It's not a business call." He says, "Abe's retiring and we want to get him a poster Up in Smoke." And so Cheech and I signed a poster for him
Oh
and
my
sent it
god,
out.
that's great.
Oh, yeah, they
That's
loved
great.
it.
I was
It,
looking at some of these things. I'm going to pull them up on the screen. This was the album that Dave Routine was on, I
the
believe.
very first album, yeah.
Uh, and but I mean, how genius was this when you guys did this? Oh, hold on, I'm trying to switch on the wrong place here. It's this one. When you guys came out with this album, and you actually opened the thing up, and there was a
There's a
huge
rolling paper.
paper in there, and you got in one of the movies, you pull out this joint that's like huge, and that was like, oh, you can actually roll that thing with this Cheech and Chong album. That was just so
Yeah,
genius, and it was amazing. Again, when I was looking at this stuff, I was like, wow, this was, I mean, I had this stuff, this was so influential
yeah.
in me growing up. It was pretty amazing. um so how did you guys come up with that, and was that
Well,
like an endorsement or
no, no.
no?
We when we hooked up with Lou Adler, Lou had the Mamas and the Papas. He had Carole
Mhm,
King. He knew what to do with a hit act.
mhm,
You know, not just a hit record, but a hit act.
right.
And so when we met, we saw his work, and then when we went we met with him. Lou had no idea what he could do with us. But when I walked in and I realized make a record, let's make a comedy record.
Mhm, mhm,
And
mhm.
so it was so easy making the deal.
Mhm.
There was no waiting or anything because we're just so there. It was so
Right,
ready to go, and Lou Adler was so perfect for the job.
right, right,
And so anything we did, like the Dave's Not Here, like I said, was a rehearsal. And
right.
it was the only time we ever rehearsed. We never rehearsed after that
Hmm.
because it was shoot to rehearsal.
Right,
That was our mantra. And
right.
in the movies, the same thing. Very seldom did more than one or two takes, you know, because and that's what would give us this sort of smooth, real cool movie that you can see over and over and over and over and
Right,
over
right,
again.
right. Well, it's all about the characters for sure. The characters are just, so real and lovable,
Yeah,
and that was why I was amazed when I started when I was had the last conversation with you. I was like, wow, it's like exactly like I would have imagined talking to that guy I saw in the movies, 30 years ago or however long ago it was. It's so much fun talking to you and hearing these stories.
well, you got to remember that uh, it's hard. Comedy can be really hard work
Hmm.
if you approach it from if you're not gone if you not hadn't not gone through the training, the
Hmm.
vaudevillian training.
Okay.
See, I caught it like vaudeville because back in the day, you went on the road forever.
Right.
It was way before television or anything.
Right.
You were
Well,
just on the
that's what I
road.
was talking about. You and Chong on stage. I mean, you and Cheech on stage, just kind of doing your thing with each other, and it was all about that chemistry that you had,
Yeah,
and then these characters that you created. You would instantly go into these characters and these routines, that were just so. You guys were pioneers. I mean, it was
yeah,
just that time. I remember is just amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, we took a page out of everybody
Hmm.
that was out there. Like the Smothers Brothers and that.
Hmm.
I love the way Tommy and Dick would have their mom liked you best kind of thing.
Hmm. Right.
So I used like a Latino stoner or greaser version of that. you know that
Yeah. Yeah.
that miscommunication. Can you imagine you grew up with someone and you can't dial in to to the to where he's at. you know I mean, the humor that we would come up with, and a lot of times, like Cheech was so involved in the character
Mhm.
that he couldn't enjoy it as much as everybody else could, like me. and,
Well,
and that,
you were feeding off of that.
well, yeah, and I guess toward the after the Corsican brothers, he was like had it, but with Cheech, he was having personal problems.
Right.
He got divorced during the like I thought it'd be a good idea to put his wife in the movie because then I could put my wife in the movie. But they did not get along, and they
Ooh,
actually got divorced during that
because
movie.
of it. Right, right, right. Oh
Yeah,
man. Oh
yeah.
man.
He was not a happy camper, and
That,
he went through the whole uh, Corsican Brothers shoot. No, he's happy now thinking about it because people will say to him, Cheech, you lived in Paris, you lived on Avenue Foch, you rented
mhm,
this incredible house
mhm.
full of art. You ate in the nicest restaurants in the world every
Right,
Sunday. Cheech was like this gourmet food guy, you know. He would
right,
go to, and so he really enjoyed Paris,
right.
but he didn't enjoy my being the director.
Mm,
You know,
mhm.
he did not enjoy that,
Right,
and eventually it got to be too much for him, and he couldn't take my direction anymore.
right.
And to this day he still can't. You know.
But you're saying he's more spiritual. He's a little more grateful and understand. Look back on times he was more like tense, maybe, and now be like, I had a good life. He can appreciate the
Well,
life.
I think he always Cheech always had a different path that he thought he wanted to follow.
Hmm, hmm.
In fact, when we hooked up, he said, he actually said, I'll follow you for a little while.
Right,
And that's what he said, you know.
right.
And so, because he is such a powerhouse on his own, you
Hmm,
know,
hmm, hmm.
and
You
yeah,
both. Yeah, you both are. So I'm gonna back up a little bit because I want
sure.
to know again. It just brought me back, kind of doing some of the research. So like routines like Sister Mary Elephant.
Yeah.
Like who? How did that come? Tell us the Sister Mary Elephant story.
Well, I was telling Cheech, you know, that we can't go wrong if we aim the humor low for kids to understand, you know.
Okay.
And so I said to Cheech, what was your, you know, like your experiences? You know, my experience was in Earache My Eye when because I was in a country school with, and there was a lot of farm kids that never got out of grade 3 because they had to stop to help with the harvest of the farm or whatever, you know.
Right. Right.
And so there was a lot of old kids that are slow. And so in Earache My Eye, what I did on my summer vacation, that was the first thing our teachers used to say to us: give us some paper, tell us what you did on this summer.
Right. Right. Right.
And so that was my idiot guy. You know, first I got up, then I went downtown to look for a job. Well, Sister
Oh
Mary
man, so
Elephant was
classic.
Cheech's thing. He said, well, we had a teacher there. We called her Sister Mary Elephant, you know,
Yeah.
and because she would scream at everybody,
Yeah.
you know, and so that's why she got.
Class,
Yeah.
class, shut up! Oh my god, it's just so it's like almost like growing up for me. I mean, I don't know how it was for you, but you would like remember certain routines like Monty Python routines and things like that,
Sure,
and Cheech
sure.
and Chong routines were right in there. I mean,
Yeah,
Sister Mary Elephant and Dave, forget it. Those
yeah.
were two. You just start those, and people would chime in. You just do the knock. And
Oh,
someone's like, "Hey."
yeah, yeah.
So
I
good.
mean, it was, and that's what we did. You know, we were like the early explorers in Canada would find gold on the beach,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
and that's what we were because we
Yeah,
were the first comedy duo since,
right,
well, first original comedy duo. You know, every other comedy duo was sort of manufactured,
right,
to
right,
be together. And so we were the first organic, homegrown, start off together kind of improv group, a comedy team.
right, right, right.
You see, and it was it was so special because I'm such a backup guitar player. Cheech was a lead, but he was so much better being funny, doing
Right,
comedy,
right, right.
and so the two of us, it was just such a natural. And then being together so long, we had to keep changing the show.
Mhm.
Not so much for LA because we could do anything in LA, but it was for Australia. And so we would go over to Australia, and
Mhm.
we would had to make sure that they would understand the jokes.
Okay.
So we couldn't use the Chicano. There are a lot of things we couldn't use,
Gotcha.
and so and I was really the guy that wrote the show. So I was the guy that got tired of going to Australia 3 years in a row, and then I said I wanted to do a movie, and so that's how we got into the movies.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. And what was the first movie?
Up in Smoke.
Up in Smoke was the first. Oh my god,
Yeah.
so classic. And I mean, really, like I said, you created these characters that, I mean, how could you forget the image of Cheech and Chong? You know what I mean? Just walking down the street, hey, how you doing? I mean, so classic, so good.
I think my favorite Cheech is when wakes up and he's coming out and the guys are cutting each other's hair. They're doing their little barbershop thing, and then he walks over to his lowrider car, which isn't parked near his house. It's parked like they're hiding
Yeah.
it. And he doesn't have a door handle, but he has to have a special way to open the
My
door.
God,
I mean, that him in that car, it was so iconic.
so classic.
It was so iconic and classic because it was, you know what it was? It was like Roy Rogers and Trigger, you know.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You had that
absolutely,
whole, you had that
absolutely.
whole sidekick. In the old comedy, in the cowboy days, it was the horse, but in the lowrider days, it was the car, and we were the first guys to bring that out. To the point where, your raggedy ass car.
Right, right, right. Well, it
That's
was like a
part.
caricature. It was like a caricature of the
Yeah,
whole thing.
yeah.
Cheech's what is he had a like a yellow wife beater with the red suspenders. I mean, that outfit. How could you?
He designed that whole
Amazing.
look. He designed that whole look. Well, my wife helped me design mine. My wife's an artist too,
Oh, cool.
and so she she designed my kind of thing. A little side note: when after we were, in the mid of our career, we're looking for new things, and the punk rock, glam rock was coming
Mhm,
out.
mhm,
So
mhm, mhm.
I wrote a bit where like a mime artist, I put on this makeup, and then I put on this tutu, and then I sang "I'm a Man." You know,
Yeah, yeah.
well, on paper that was pretty funny, but in real life it was like, yeah, it was too dead on, I guess. But
Yeah.
but anyway, she says, "Oh, I'll do that bit." He just wanted to wear the tutu.
And it became an iconic bit. I mean, absolutely.
He
You know what I
owned
mean?
it. He
Yeah,
owned it.
totally.
There's pictures of me with that tutu, and it's like, what's he trying to prove?
Right, right, right. No,
He owned it.
you know your place in the chemistry. You know what I
Well,
mean?
you're showing your place. Let
Yeah,
me put
yeah.
it this way: you don't know it, but
Right, right, right,
someone will show it to you and say,
right.
"Okay, this is you, dude."
Another one of my favorite, I forget who the actress is. I keep thinking it's Fran Drescher, who's like, "I know you. You're Jerry Garcia," and he's like, "Hey, I'm Santana, man." I mean, those
Oh
are some of my
yes,
favorite.
she was one of the groundlings, I think.
I, for-
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, she did a whole Jewish mama kind of thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I think she was one of the groundlings.
Oh my
and,
god,
and
that
then
that
she
was so
said,
great.
"Jerry Garcia," and I go, "Okay."
And Pee Wee Herman was in that early in his
Well,
career.
Pee Wee was from the Groundlings for sure.
Right, right.
And the funny thing is, when I was casting the movie out of the Groundlings, they made me pay to get in the Groundlings every time I went there.
Oh my god, that's hysterical. Wow.
I could have, but then you know what? I've always had respect for people trying to make a buck.
Sure.
You know, because I had the nightclubs and I know exactly what it feels like,
Right, right, right,
you,
right. Hey,
you
it's a
know,
business, right? It's a business.
yeah.
So, I do also want to talk to you about the current state of Tommy Chong, um, because, well, I guess I want to also talk about the intermediate Tommy Chong, which is the Tommy Chong who did a little bit of time in jail, but not in such a bad way. The last time we spoke about it, you kind of said, it was a pretty important time in your life and almost like a transition period. But you also, through that time, got to have an interesting and unique adventure slash friendship that I would love to ask you about. I'm going to add to the screen this, but that's not what I want to show. What I want to show is this right here. Uh,
Oh, my
you,
buddy Jordan.
yeah, you had a cellmate who probably had some very interesting stories. You kind of confirmed that to us last time. Is there anything that you can say to us? Any interesting stories that
Well,
stand out?
he his whole life. I mean, I think one of the greatest stories for me that he told when he was living in the Hamptons. He was living in one of the biggest, mansions that you could find there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when he'd have these crazy parties, he would hire the New Hampton Police Department as security.
Wow.
So the neighbors, when they complained, they had to complain to people at his party. So give you an idea the kind of juice he had.
Right,
Well,
right,
he was
right.
telling me that one day he was a Quaalude addict, and
Okay.
he'd keep himself stoned all the time. And while he was stoned, he'd get these creative ideas. Like one creative idea was to build a huge waterfall in his backyard because he felt like he needed some
Okay.
running water somewhere.
Okay.
So he spent something like, I don't know, 10 grand, some ridiculous, maybe 100,000, whatever, putting
Pocket
this,
change to him,
put,
regardless, right?
putting up.
Oh, hold on. I think you froze up a second. Oh, you know what? You went to mute. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. I don't hear you. You're muted. Hang on a second. I do not know why. It says I can't mute you. Your mic isn't connected. Something happened. I don't know what happened. Can you hear me, Tommy? Yes? No? I'm having some technical difficulties here with Tommy Chong. Hang in, folks. His mic got muted somehow, and I'm gonna try to put him back in the studio and unmute his mic. I don't know what he's doing. He's doing his best. I don't hear you yet to get back here, but while he's trying to figure it out, now's a good time to just address everybody who is watching. If anybody has a question, please post it in the comments for me to ask uh, Tommy. He's probably disconnecting and hopefully coming back to talk to some more. I love talking to Tommy Chong. Oh my God, how awesome is this? How much fun is this? Getting stories about the classic routines and just the story of how he went from where he was to where he is now.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
And there he is. He's back. Oh, so
Yeah.
happy. Oh, Tommy, so good to have you back.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I get these all the time. They're butting in on my ass.
It's all good. It's all good.
But
So,
so anyway, Jordan,
yep.
Jordan, uh, he wakes up one day and the waterfall's finished.
Okay.
And so his wife wakes him up and she says, "Come on back here." And he walks back into the backyard. They turn on the lights and the waterfall and everything. And they said to Jordan, "Well, what do you think?" Jordan says, "I hate it. Tear it down."
Oh no. Oh my God. And
They
that
had
was
to
it.
tear
He,
it
he
down.
just changed his mind. He's like, yeah, this wasn't a good idea. Get rid of it.
Junkie. They're junkies.
That's hysterical.
That's terrible. I don't like it. Tear it
That's
down.
hysterical.
I mean, that's just one. Oh, I mean, he went on and on about his stuff in. They never showed it. I don't think they showed it on the movie because it was so intricate. But they're flying. They're going to fly to his yacht, which
Okay.
is in the Mediterranean, in Rome, and they're actually in Rome, and they're going to motor over to Sardinia. They get on the plane. It's a whole gang of them. They're going to have a great time. They get on the plane. Halfway across the Atlantic, or halfway across, the ocean, one of the girls decides to get something out of her suitcase.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes into the back where the suitcases are kept. Then she comes back. She goes, "Where are the suitcases?" Well, they forgot them. They left them behind. They left him behind on the tarmac or somewhere.
Oh my God! Yeah.
So he said, "Not to worry." Okay, I got it.
I hear you. I'm here.
Yeah. So when they get to the Rome, they have to go buy new clothes.
Right.
That was their whole thing.
Right.
So they get off the plane, they go buy new clothes, and they get up back. Now they're on the boat. They're not on the plane anymore. Now they're on the boat.
Okay.
So they load all the luggage on the boat, and they're halfway across the Mediterranean. The biggest storm in the history of the storms hits. Now they have to be rescued off the boat. The boat's sinking. The
Oh
only
my
thing
God.
they save is a jar of Quaaludes. As they're being helicoptered, they're saved by the helicopter. It picks them off the boat. The boat sinks along with
Like a
their
big, huge yacht,
clothes.
like a big, expensive.
I can't hear you. You're not coming through.
Oh, hello. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
I hear you. Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Oh no. Well, that
Why
stinks.
can't I hear you?
I don't know. Can you guys hear me out there in the audience? Oh, he just left and he's gonna come back. I love Chong's perseverance. Can you guys hear me out there? I don't know if anybody is still out there or what. Looks like I've got a few viewers still there. Okay, cool. We got Lily Marie saying, "Yep, she could hear me." Tommy should be coming back. Hopefully he is, because I would love to have that ceremonial virtual smoke with him. I don't know what kind of technical issues he's having. What's up, Angela? Well, thank you to Angela's husband, and there he is. Tommy is back, having all sorts of technical difficulties. How you doing, Tommy? Good.
I'm good.
You're back.
I thought I was doing better, but
Well, I'm only going to keep you for about 10 minutes more, if that's all right.
no problem, man.
Yeah. I definitely am loving speaking
Okay,
to you.
you still there?
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
You still there?
I'm here. You're having
Oh
some.
shit! No.
Shit.
There.
Hey, I'm back. Are you here?
Come on, for fuck's sake!
For fuck's sake. He's having some internet difficulties. I think it's
God.
I think it's internet difficulties. Hello. Are you there? I'm gonna unmute my mic, and then Tommy's back. Poor Tommy. It's frustrating when you have technical difficulties.
Oh, you bastard!
And he can't hear me. Oh, the bastard. Poor Tommy. I hope he gets back and does not and I have enough time to do my virtual steamroller with him. He's so much fun to talk to, and he's back one more time.
I got to figure out a way that I can shut off all these phone calls that are coming.
Oh, is that what's happening? The phone is ringing, and then it's screwing up the audio. Yeah, I got you. I see what you're saying.
I haven't figured that one out yet. Anyway, did I finish the story? I can't remember.
You were saying that they were getting rescued from the boat. So
okay, they got rescued from the boat.
The mansion is sinking now, and the helicopters come.
and they rescue them. They take them to Sardinia, and now, for the second time, They don't have any clothes. So they go to the gift shop, and they buy whatever they can. Now they got these clothes, and okay, so they're sick of the boat trip. You know, it didn't work out too well. They lost a boat, and the insurance paid for it right away. By the way, so Jordan was happy. Now so and their plane, something happened to their plane. They ran into some birds or something. So now they have to fly commercial from Sardinia to London,
Oh
and they
wow.
got these weird Sardinia gift shop clothes on. They get to London, they get in the limousine, and there's nowhere to stay. Why? Because they're having this big concert at Wembley Stadium. I
Oh
think it
man.
was George Harrison or whatever, one of the big ones.
All the hotels were full.
Yeah,
Oh man.
and so what happens? Jordan gets on the phone, makes some calls, and they end up with a $10,000 a night suite at some hotel, the big hotel there. And it's they get up. They were taken up to the suite by the bellman and that. They go in there, the guy opens the curtains, and they got a ringside view of the concert at Wembley Stadium.
Wow. Of
So
course.
so it all worked out
It
great.
all works out. That's crazy. That's a great story. And when you're the Wolf of Wall Street, that's the way the universe hands you stuff, right?
Well, and then it grabs it back.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's the way things go. It's like crazy. Oh my God, our boat's sinking. To
Fuck off.
oh,
Are you there again? Did I
I'm
lose
here.
you again?
I'm here. Somebody called you again.
Shit.
Ah, shit. Damn it.
How the fuck can I get back in there without?
And Greg would love to. Greg, you would love to interview him on Polish Hip Hop Radio, and he's gonna come back one more time, and I'm gonna get him to tell the story, the last piece of the puzzle, which is, well, I'm gonna let him tell you, but it's exciting. So I'm gonna let Tommy tell you. Hey, Tommy,
I'm getting better at it.
it's all good. Good to see you back. Do me a favor.
Sure.
Turn your phone sideways.
Okay.
Boom! Look at that. You fill the screen better that way. Nice.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Awesome. Love to see in your face. Awesome. All right. So yeah, we were just you finished the story. It's amazing. I was just saying that's how the universe kind of turns and gives you the ups and the downs. Your boat's sinking. You have no clothes. Then you're concert seeing a concert from the best view in the house.
The best view, yeah, the concert, and
Amazing.
actually, that's what they kind of planned to do, and eventually it worked out.
That's where they
Uh,
went.
Jordan, he he is who he is. He's
Hmm.
kind of unrepentant, and he just loves his life.
Hmm.
And he's good at it.
Hmm. Hmm.
He's good at what he does, and he's happy at what he does. He just got married again,
Oh wow.
uh, and another young girl. It'll be interesting to see how everything comes out for him. We'll see.
Well, that's you know what, and that's just a testament to you, Tommy, which is love everybody unconditionally, no matter
Yeah.
how you know corrupt or uncorrupt or who cares, whatever they are, you just want to
Well,
give them love, right?
if you read scriptures, you'll see our roles are really defined, and if we stick to them, we'll always be happy. But we never do. I mean, a lot of people don't,
Mhm.
because they figure, well, they misinterpret a lot of things to begin with.
Mhm.
But we are beholders. That's our job. We're here to behold the wonders of the
I love
universe.
that so much. I mean, that is,
Yeah.
and that answers what is consciousness, right? We are
Yes.
to experience
Yes.
the universe
Yes.
as
Yes.
us, right? Because
Yes. Yes. Because that's the only way you're going to enjoy it.
I'm writing that down. That's going to be my takeaway. We are beholders.
Yeah.
Tommy Chong. It's a quote. It's a quote from you, Tommy.
Well, it's a biblical quote.
I know, but from my show, it's a quote of your mute.
Oh, thank you.
I'm going to use it as promo, but go ahead.
No, we're beholders, and what we're beholding, and you can, whatever you want to behold, because it's all there. It's
Mhm,
all out in front of us.
mhm,
Uh, the cannabis world is really interesting because, again, everything we did with the cannabis, uh, people misinterpret everything,
mhm, mhm.
and
Oh, he's got another call. We're getting into the cannabis section, and he's muted again. Nope, he's muted again. Nope, you got a call, and it mutes him. Son of a bitch. And now he's talking, and now he's probably talking to the person to tell them to stop calling him. So he's gonna take that phone call. He's gonna come back, and we're gonna talk about the cannabis world, and that's gonna close out the moment because there's some good news that you're gonna hear from Tommy Chong himself as soon as he comes back regarding the cannabis world. Some very good, interesting news, and I think that's actually where he was going. Um, so I'm going to let him do that. I think he took that phone call and told that person not to call him back. So hey, there he is.
I answered the phone
I figured that and said, "Hey,
and did
stop
what
calling
the
me."
and the guy goes, "Is this a comedian?" I said, "Please don't call me. I'm in the
Oh
middle of
my
a
God, that's
show.
hysterical.
Thank you. Bye."
So you stole my segue. So let's get back into it. But my segue was going to bring us to the cannabis world, which you just
Okay.
started saying was interesting. And I'm hoping that you're going to start talking about what's going on for you in the cannabis world. So let's hear where you're going with that.
Well, we are right now. We have our own delivery service, Cheech and Chong, but we have to kind of low key it because we also have our stuff in different dispensaries, which
Mhm.
we're also, which
All
we would,
legal.
yeah, and so right now we're just sorting out the Cheech and Chong and the CBDs, which it's all Chong,
Hmm.
and we're getting ready to go public with the Cheech and Chong dispensaries or the Cheech and Chong. Yeah,
So
everything Cheech and
so are you
Chong.
guys hearing this? The people who are listening to this moment right now, Cheech and Chong dispensaries. It's like a dream come true.
Oh, it is.
It's amazing. It must be for you. I mean, that's
Well, we
oh,
had to wait. We had to wait till people, iron out all the bugs in that. The get rich quick guys, came and went. The medmen type
mhm.
people. They went in for the fast buck, and now we're just treading water now until we get everything together, and that's where we're at now. And we're making a ton of money on the merchandise,
I would
Cheech and Chong
imagine.
merch,
Yeah.
and we're doing really, really, really good with the cannabis, and eventually we're going to be big business. We're going to when we find the right grow, we're going to
Sure.
have
Yeah,
have
yeah.
our own grows.
It's so it's perfect.
We're going to have everything.
Yeah.
The main thing is that my job really is to get it legal federally,
Mhm, mhm,
because I know Biden. I know I got
mhm.
an in with Biden, and as soon as they put Putin to bed, then we'll be able to concentrate more on the
The
legalization
important
across
stuff.
the board.
Yeah, the important stuff. That's so awesome. So I mean, I can't tell you that's like full circle. Life has come full circle for you, right? It's like I
Well,
mean,
everybody always used to say, Cheech especially, say, when they do legalize it, we're going to be in the best position.
you guys are like
And
the,
and,
the
and
faces of stoners.
yeah, they kind of went against us. They tried to uh, promote by saying this is not a Cheech and Chong bit. you know, this is not like saying no to Cheech and Chong. Thinking that somehow you can genderfy or whitewash the weed business. Make it like they're always trying to make it look like alcohol. you know,
Mm.
like they're worried about the, people getting unruly at pot
Right, right,
shops.
right, 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 right.
you know.
Oh my God! But I mean, it's just so perfect in my head. I see the whole thing. So I want to take an opportunity here um, to do something really quick with you, and then I have a couple more things I want to say to you before I let you go. But this is the moment where I oh, the doggy. Hello.
Oh, they're all getting into it.
This is the moment where I ask you if we can do a little bit of a virtual smoke together, um,
Okay,
because
let
it's
me let me close the door so that
okay.
dog won't
Cool.
be bugging.
And anybody out there who wants to join Tommy and I in this virtual smoke, please do so. Join
Are
up
we lighting up now?
in this moment. Oh, we're lighting up. I'm ready to go. I've got my little device here, and I'm ready to go. And then
Okay, I'll show off with my one of my devices. Let me think.
this is like, the last time we did this, I'm like, I think that was one of the coolest things I've ever done. Had a virtual smoke with Tommy Chong, and then you gave me the virtual shotgun, which was like, you know,
Oh, that's right.
that was just amazing.
That's right. See, I got these bamboo
Oh yeah, look at
joint
that.
holders now
Nice.
because what happens? I got this woodworking Jones. I love to work woodworking, but I don't have
So you made that?
I, I don't have the eyesight that you
Okay.
need, you know. And my eyes, I because I fixed them, I can't use corrective lenses,
I
you
gotcha.
know.
Right.
And so it's coming back on me.
So did you make that bamboo thing?
Yeah, yeah. I
Nice.
make this. This is all my It's called bamboo art. Here's the big one.
Wow.
This is a pipe that I. You know what I found out with bamboo?
What did you find out?
Well, bamboo, it's grass to begin with,
Okay, right.
and giant grass actually,
Right.
and it was another gift from the creator for
Hmm.
us
Hmm.
because you can do so much with bamboo. Eating is one of it. You can eat bamboo shoots.
Hmm.
It'll
Hmm.
keep you alive.
Right.
The panda bears will tell you that.
Yep.
But if you find bamboo that has been stressed, rubbed up against each other,
Uh-huh.
you will find some really, and then they grow according to their need. You got
Okay.
timber bamboo that'll grow like big logs almost, and then you got anything from real bamboo grass to this golden bamboo, which I love.
Right.
But if you take it and you polish it, it the beauty of the plant comes out in such a way that that it's just nice to have, nice to look at. Uh,
Yep.
it smells good. Everything good. Everything. There's nothing bad about bamboo that I found. And if you want to torture someone, you can you can stick bamboo
Put it
splinters
under
under
there.
their
Yeah,
nails
no,
and
you're right. Bamboo, it has that organic kind of feel that when you hold it and touch it, you can feel connected to it. You can feel. I totally get what you're
that's it.
saying. I totally
That's
get
it.
what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely.
So I like I like carving it, and I and I make a lot of pipes out of it. And lately there've been joint holders.
Those are great. So, is that going to be merch on your endeavor, like
No, it's going to
Tommy
be
Chong
part.
pipes and joint holders?
No, they're going to be part of my rehab program.
Okay, okay. So,
I
having those people
realize,
make them, or
well, getting around to helping people. I just saw something on TikTok that came up and says, if you're looking for love, find someone in desperate needs that need help.
hmm,
Isn't that crazy?
that's interesting. Yeah,
If you're
yeah, yeah.
looking for love, find
Right,
someone that's in
right.
desperate need of help.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
And that's me.
Right.
Because, You know, because that's what I want to do now.
Well,
Is I want
being in
to,
service to others. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I want to share, but I want to share, but I also want to create. See, human beings,
Hmm.
they're the best to create with,
Hmm.
because you can do so much with them. You know, they understand you. You
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
know, and if you treat human beings, uh, well, like the Bible says, that they treat it the way you would like to be treated, you can't go wrong.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and oh, oh, now the dog's trying to get in.
Uh
Hold on,
oh.
I
Uh
gotta.
oh.
AAA guy is here.
Huh?
The AAA guy is here.
Oh
For the
shit.
Tesla.
Uh oh.
Okay.
Are you doing a
Oh,
cameo?
you know what? I gotta go, man.
All right, man. Hey,
Are
listen.
you
Do what
doing
you
a
got to
cameo?
do. It was
Hi.
amazing to talk to you. Go do what you got to do, Tommy.
Okay,
We'll
we'll
talk
do
again.
this whenever you want to.
I love you, brother. Thank you
I
so
love you.
much. Thank you so much. Wow. Tommy Chong, folks. That was amazing. The AAA guy was there. He had to run. They're coming to service the Tesla. I was going to get into some things with Tommy. I was going to ask him if he does a show or if he's interested in doing a show, because I would love Tommy to have his own show and to just talk to people and have conversations with people. It's so amazing to talk to him. It's so amazing how open he is with his life and his stories. I'm surprised that nobody had any questions for Tommy, but I can't tell you how much I appreciate each and every person for being there in this particular moment, because this moment is setting me off to do more of them. It's saying so much to me about who I am and what I can create when I put my mind to it. You guys are there to validate that. So thank you, Lily. Thank you so much. I don't know who's still out there, but it's just such a pleasure to listen to Tommy Chong. Um, he forgot, I had him for more than an hour, so it was easy for me to let him go and just be grateful for that conversation. I will have him back for another moment, and I will suggest to him a few things. I'm going to suggest to him, thank you, Greg. I'm going to suggest to him that he does these virtual steamrollers, not steamroller, what the heck was it called when he, it's not the steamroller. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm forgetting the name. It's all about the love, Angela. Thank you, Greg, for good job. Thank you, Angela, all about the love. So that was the moment. We had an amazing moment with Tommy Chong, and everybody who was there listening was part of that moment. It's going to be immortalized forever on YouTube and Facebook. So the moment is always there to listen. But this is my moment. Thank you for being here. Come back whenever I'm here. You're always welcome to be a part of my moment. I love you all. And that's it. Shotguns. That was it. Angela was telling me the name that I was forgetting. Shotguns. So how cool would that be? Instead of a cameo, you get a call from Tommy Chong and he's like, hey, I wanted to give you a virtual shotgun. I think that's a business right there. I think that's a service right there. I'm going to suggest it to him. Love you too. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to look for my outro here and say peace and love.